My mother thinks being a parent entitles her to control, obedience, and constant praise. And if I dare push back, I'm the one who has to apologize. Hey Reddit, I've been lurking here for a while, never really had the guts to post anything, but today to vent. I need to speak up because saying anything at home feels like lighting a fuse in a room full of gasoline. I'm in my 20s, still living at home, not by choice, but because the job market is an absolute nightmare right now. I'm retraining in a new job field. It's like a second apprenticeship. Doing everything I can to move forward, applying to dozens of jobs, hoping something sticks. And while that's already stressful enough, what makes it worse is the person I should be able to count on, my mom, is the one who makes everything feel heavier. She's the kind of entitled parent who thinks that being my mother means she's always right, always justified, always the victim when things don't go her way. If something goes wrong in my life, a job rejection, a bad day, burnout, her response isn't comfort, it's blame. Her favorite line? Your mindset is the problem. I could apply to 10 jobs in a week, putting real energy and hope into each one. And when I get nothing but silence or rejections, her answer is, well, you were expecting failure, and that's what you got. No, I wasn't. I was hoping. But she doesn't understand the difference. She can't. She hasn't had to apply for a job in decades. The last time she looked for work, she walked in, said, I'll work for free, and boom, she was hired. She genuinely has no clue how hard things are now, yet she talks to me like she's a career expert and I'm just lazy or entitled. And when I try to explain how different things are today, how emotionally exhausting it is to try again and again in a broken system, she gets mad. Not just annoyed, furious. She'll storm off, slam doors, refuse to talk, sulk like a child. And somehow I always end up being the one who has to apologize. Not because I did something wrong, but because I dared to stand up for myself. That's the pattern. Every time I express how I feel or try to set a boundary, she plays the victim. Suddenly, she's too old for this or says, I'm just doing my best. And if I don't immediately back down and comfort her, I'm the ungrateful one. I'm the bad guy. This woman doesn't want conversation. She wants submission. She wants me to sit there, smile, nod, and thank her, even when she's hurting me emotionally. If I don't, she'll act like I'm the monster. Growing up, nothing was ever good enough. Got a good grade? You can do better next time. Did something kind? That's what you should be doing anyway. Every win was ignored, and every flaw became a full-blown indictment of who I am. Now that I'm an adult, she's even less of a mother. She expects me to organize my own birthday, bake my own cake, and act like everything's fine. But when it's her birthday, or anyone else's, suddenly I'm the family caterer. I bake, I serve, I smile. One rule for her, another for me. She hates when I take a mental health day or just spend time in my room. If I sleep in or stay quiet for a while, I get passive-aggressive jabs like, wow, wasting the whole day again? She doesn't ask for help. She waits until she's angry and then lashes out because I didn't magically know she needed something. As if I'm supposed to have spider sense and telepathy to detect when the queen wants something done. But here's what cuts the deepest. If I stand up for myself, if I calmly explain how her behavior affects me, she shuts down. She plays the poor me card. She says I always twist her words, or that she can't do anything right. She makes it impossible to have a real conversation because any challenge to her entitlement becomes an attack. She expects me to constantly prove I love and respect her, but she has never once truly acknowledged how hard I'm trying. She wants me to show endless gratitude just for being allowed to live at home, while using that as leverage to dismiss any of my needs or struggles. She calls me dramatic, says I live in a fantasy world. Once even mocked me by saying I have TF2 pyro vision, like I just make problems up in my head. But this isn't fantasy. This is what it's like to live with someone who treats love like a currency you owe interest on. And on top of everything, she's deep into conspiracy stuff, anti-vax nonsense, alternative medicine over facts, the whole package. One time I had a serious medical concern, hemorrhoids, which run in the family, and she just refused to acknowledge it. Said it was because I eat wrong and I just have to think healthy. Meanwhile, her father had the same issue and she has varicose veins herself. But logic has no place in her world. So yes, I still live at home. And yes, I'm thankful for what support I get, but the cost is high. My peace, my mental health, my independence, they're taxed every day. And if I ever want peace, I have to pretend. Pretend she's right. Pretend I'm not hurt. Pretend I'm okay. But I'm not. I'm tired. Tired of walking on eggshells. Tired of being the only one who has to apologize. Tired of being the scapegoat in my own damn life. Someday I'll get out of here. And when I do, I'm not just leaving the house. I'm reclaiming my voice, my space, my future. Karen let the toddlers out. Shocked, she is banned. Our town has a children's museum. It's cute, full of activities from baby through 9 or so. The baby and toddler areas have gates that latch for obvious reasons. Well, Karen decided she would use authority to have her toddler leave. So she opens the toddler gate and tells her child it's time to leave now. Well, her kid doesn't move and clearly wants to stay and play. Instead of closing the gate, retrieving the toddler, and going on with life, Karen decided to hold the gate open and start demanding her toddler listen. So, of course, other toddlers book it out, and Karen continues to hold the gate open and does nothing to prevent this, and just keeps yelling at her kid. Instant chaos as parents and a grandparent scramble out to catch the escaped tots. Toddlers are running to open elevators, to balconies, into the manager's office, and my child was booking it towards the stairs. I am about to catch her when she ducks into the art room. Messy but safe. And I notice a toddler nearly to the stair landing, which are 2-story in stone. Glance quickly and see Grandma going as fast as she can, but nowhere near fast enough. So I leave my kid to her painty fate and snatch up Darius and deliver him to a grateful grandma. I hear a dad say, "Close the gate," as he has one twin in surfboard meltdown, and another has just booked it out of the gate towards me and the paint room. This Karen then yells at him that it's not her job to watch his kids. She's got 3 kids of her own to handle. She is still holding open the gate. I'm acting as a shepherd of sorts between the toddlers and the stairs. Paint is everywhere, with unsupervised tots not wearing their paint-proof smocks going hog wild. Apparently, my daughter's favorite color is yellow. With this sudden chaos, a manager came to see what was happening, and 2 dads point to Karen, who finally picked up her child and shut the gate. Karen then tells the manager how she felt unsafe because the dad who yelled closed the gate, and demands action. By then, I head over Yellow Gremlin in arms as all the tots are corralled, and me and Grandma back up the dads and say how irresponsible her behavior was. Karen then launches into a tirade about how it's not her job to watch all of our children. The manager tells her she is banned, and she starts screaming, so security gather her and her 3 kids and march them out. I feel bad for her children, but honestly, girl, how entitled do you have to be? A simple, "I'm sorry I froze" when the kids ran out. I wasn't thinking straight. Literally anything, but she wanted to act like she was a victim of unsafe after releasing half a dozen toddlers into dangerous situations. During my daughter's birthday, then doesn't bring a gift after letting me know she didn't bring a gift. So here's a tale of light chaos, mom group politics, and one very entitled mom. My daughter's 8th birthday party was supposed to be a fun, big celebration, but due to unusual circumstances in our neck of the woods, we had to cancel everything. Once everything has calmed down, I still wanted her to have some kind of party. She'd been through a lot, as did the other kids. The original plan, which involved a special location with a big attraction, was no longer possible, so I decided to throw the party at our home and invite just the girls in her class. That was still 23 kids, which I had to entertain myself, but I was willing to do it to make her happy. I sent an invite in the girls' moms group. Time, place, everything. Everyone responded with, "Of course," and "We'll be there." Great. A few days later, someone messages the group, "Does anyone know when the hip-hop concert is?" Turns out it's on the exact same day. Only 2 of the girls are performing in it, so it wasn't a huge deal. These things happen. Then, one of the moms, let's call her Entitled Mom or EM, chimes in with, "How about you change the time so my daughter can come to the birthday?" Now, I wasn't angry. Honestly, she wanted to make it work so her daughter could celebrate with mine. And that's sweet in theory. But the other moms were horrified. Because who asks someone to reschedule their child's party for them? Still, I figured, fine, let's try to make it work. I told her, just bring your daughter and the other girl a little earlier. I'd give them their party favors, do a bit of the activity early, make sure they got a nice moment. Everyone would be happy. The day of the party arrives. I am beside myself, trying to set up the party in time for the early arrivals as well as the rest of the party. EM starts calling me, telling me about how difficult all this is for her. She has a ton of stuff to get done. Blah, blah, blah. I am literally on the floor duct taping a plastic table cover for the activity. Eventually, I am fed up and tell her that I am kinda busy. Then EM tells me after wasting more of my time, she will be late. For the early time she requested! The other mom, not entitled mom, comes early with her daughter, stays with her, helps out, is super thankful and appreciative. Great energy. EM keeps calling me for dumb stuff and to vent to me. Eventually shows up late, drops her daughter off, screams to me from the window of her car that her dad will pick her up and drives away. Both me and the other mom are shocked. Then her dad shows up to pick the daughter up an hour later and calls me to bring her downstairs. I told him, I'm in the middle of hosting the party. I was not clear enough. He said, just send her down. The girl goes out, then comes back crying. She is too scared. At this point, I am ready to choke them both. Only after I called him did he deign to get out of his car and come take his daughter. So not only did I have to do a double start to the party and juggle everything for the early birds, which really messed me up. I shouldn't have done it. I also got constant texts and calls from EM and her ex while trying to manage 20 excited girls. Still, my daughter was happy, especially because those girls are close friends. So I sucked it up and told myself, whatever. It's about her, not me. Now here's where the entitlement really peaks. In my community, we have a system that's considered both eco-friendly and financially responsible. Instead of everyone buying gifts, most of which are plastic junk, the parents agree on a modest amount to transfer digitally, like Venmo. It lets the kids pool the funds for one meaningful gift and avoids waste and pressure. Some still prefer to give a physical gift, which is great. They get to enjoy both worlds. So EM apparently didn't give a gift, but I didn't notice or care. I do not keep count. My daughter never checks who gave what. She was thrilled just to be with her friends. But a few days later, I get a text from EM. Oh no, I totally forgot to give your daughter a gift. What does she prefer, money or something physical? I told her, whatever is easiest for you. I genuinely meant it. She said she'd send money. She never did. Not a gift either. Not a peep or a thank you. And I still don't care. She obviously needs this money more than my daughter, for medicine. But really, the nerve. Ask me to reschedule an entire party to accommodate you, be late to your own requested time, drop your kid off and leave me to manage her more than any other girl, not give a gift, then bring it up yourself, and then still not doing it. Just needed to vent. My girl had the time of her life and is oblivious to my frustrations.